Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now. How do you get most of your media? Is it through traditional television? Through YouTube? Embedded on any one of the social media channels like Twitter, Facebook, Google+, MySpace? Podcasting? You guys still do podcasting? Like listen to podcasts? My favorite podcast of all time has not changed. This American Life. Best podcast ever. Even beats out my own podcast. We've got it right here. The Locker Room Daily Report with me, Chris Perillo. You can subscribe in iTunes. Also the Zune Marketplace. You can subscribe anywhere that you can get podcasts. You can just do a search for my last name, Perillo, or Locker Room, and it should pull up. And the podcast, the way we have it set up now, these long-form video shows that we do on YouTube are basically transcoded and then placed into our podcast that you can subscribe to and download our show. So if you can't catch the live program, or you're always on the go and you just want to listen to me in the background, or maybe you just want to watch the whole entire live show, however long it happens to be, and it's usually shy of an hour, well then you may want to subscribe to the podcast in iTunes, because many of you guys have iPods. Or if you don't have anything from Apple, you might have a device that still supports podcasts through a third-party app. Maybe it's built into the software. Maybe you just get it another way. Bottom line is, podcasting's still very much alive. I had this debate the other week, and I guess I was kind of put in my place. I thought it was kind of dead. I didn't think anybody subscribed to my podcast. I really didn't. Not anymore. And I have an audio version as well. I think it's in iTunes. It's an MP3 podcast. There are people out there who still want to publish podcasts. So what is a podcast? It's not a format necessarily. It's an MP3, it's an MP4, it's a video file, an audio file. It's basically wrapped in an enclosure, like a virtual enclosure. That's the tag inside an RSS feed. Podcasting is delivery. That's all it is. It's not the format. It's the delivery mechanism. And Apple makes it easy for people to discover the content that you're producing, much like Google makes it easy through YouTube to discover the video content that you're producing. But if you always wanted to set up a podcast and didn't really know where to start, if you really want to go this way, we've posted a tutorial for you right there, lockerroom.com, linked in the description here, how to set up your podcast on iTunes. Because let's face it, even though I am not a fan of iTunes, I think it's one of the worst pieces of software ever, and certainly getting longer in the tooth with every passing revision. It's still being used a lot. So, my question, should I still be producing the Locker Room Daily Report podcast video like this in a podcast? Should I still be doing a podcast? Do you guys even subscribe to podcasts anymore? If so, which ones and why? Have you tried mine? You like it? Just leave a review. Like, hey, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Oh, it's better than getting a vaccination at the doctor's office. I don't think those are, like, real reviews. Not that I invite them to be real reviews, but podcasting. What's up?